want to share with you guys something that is, it's a verse that is very near and dear to my heart. It's actually the verse that is on the top of my site, right underneath my initials, and that's by, it's intentional. I have loved that verse for almost my entire Christian walk. It has been my verse. I know everybody has verses that they that's my verse, but I really take possession of this one. This one is my verse, and it's Psalm 16:8, and it says, "I have set the Lord continually before me, because he is at my right hand, I will not be shaken." I have tried to make that verse not just a nice flowery psalm that I read and quote, but I legitimately have done what I can do to make that psalm a lifestyle. I will never forget the first time that I read that verse and it came alive in my heart. And I knew in Psalm 16, when I was reading it, I knew that it was God saying, this is your verse. This one is your possession. And so Psalm 16:8, "I have set the Lord continually before me, because he is at my right hand, I will not be shaken." And that word, "I have set," it's actually a phrase. And the word for that phrase is the word shavah. It's a Hebrew word, shavah, which literally means to equal or to level. It could also literally or figuratively mean to physically to set something. It's kind of a weird concept when you think about it, to go, that you could set God in front of you. But I think that it has profound implications. David says, "I have set the Lord continually before me, because he's at my right hand, I will not be shaken." He's saying, I've continually placed the Lord before me. I've continually placed him before me. And because of that, because he's right at my right hand, because he's directly before me, I will not be shaken. And I think sometimes the reason why we feel shaky, sometimes we don't feel confident, we don't feel like we're on solid ground, is because of what we are setting in front of ourselves. Some of us, some of us have a regular quiet time, regular prayer time or whatever, but a lot of us, what we do is we have everything else set in front of us. And then we wonder why we don't feel like we have solid ground to stand on. We wonder why our life feels shaky. We wonder why things don't feel solid. The answer is Psalm 16:8. "I have set the Lord continually before me, because he's at my right hand, I will not be shaken." David's saying, I am not shaken because I always have set him right in front of me. The key word there is continually. He said, "I have set the Lord continually before me, because he's at my right hand, I will not be shaken." So the question is, do you feel shaky? Do you feel like your walk, your Christian life, your life in general, do you feel like it's on solid ground? Do you feel like it's easy to move you? Do you feel like it's easy to be shaken? If it is, it's because of what you are setting in front of yourself. We are so quick, because of the access, we're so quick to set the news in front of ourselves. Whether it's, I know people, somebody was, I can't remember who it was talking about it the other day. Was talking about how many hours of CNN they're watching right now. And so many people talking about how many hours of news that they're watching. And I sit there and go like, well, no wonder you feel fearful. No wonder you feel afraid. No wonder you feel so uneasy all the time, because you've put your TV set right in front of yourself, and that's what's in front of you. And because that's what's at your right hand, that's what's readily available to you, you feel unsure. You feel like you don't have anything to stand on. Or we have our phones that have all the bad news you could possibly ever want, especially with Facebook. Man, it's just a gross place right now. And so in your right hand, right in front of you, what you've set in front of yourself is all of this bad news, all of this negativity. And we wonder why we feel shaky. We wonder why we don't feel like our life is on solid ground. It's because of what we have set before us. And David's saying here, I have set, not the bad news. I have not set my insecurities, my issues. I have set the Lord continually before me. It means over and over again. It's a lifestyle of continually placing the Lord before you, focusing on him, and letting him solidify your life. This is why it's so important to have this dedicated time where you get before the Lord and read his word and pray, not because of some religious requirement, but because when you set him before you, when you continually set him before you, it gives you a solid foundation with which to live your life from. I used to keep this this little chain. My parents actually got it for me. I used to keep this little chain that had a level on it. It was a small, little level. It just had one bubble in the middle. And it was a reminder to me because of this verse, because I had shared with some people about what this verse meant to me, how it impacted me. And that word I have set, like I had said before, it literally means to level, right? To set something means it means literally to level it. So I used to have this level as a little reminder to continually set him before my face. And I have a level right here. I'm sure you can see, right? When you have a level, there's two lines, and if something is level, that means that the bubble is in the middle. And I had that bubble or that level as a reminder, because I think of it like this: in every scenario, every moment throughout my day, it's like my life is those two lines, and the Lord is the level. He's the bubble in the middle. And the less time I set in front of me, the less even things get, the more things. It's like I'm trying to every day reset, keep that bubble in the middle, keep him as the center, because if I don't, then everything else gets out of whack. And I'm specifically mean like practically. I don't want to make this just theoretical. I mean practically, every transition throughout your day, freshly setting the Lord before you. I used to work in a daycare, and kids would. I know it's crazy. I worked there for 3 years, actually, prepared me to be a dad. But the kids would be, great once they got settled in, and they would have, like an hour of playtime or learning time or whatever. But the thing that caused chaos, the thing that caused issue was transition times. Kids have a hard time with transitions, because when there's a transition, like when they're moving from learning time to eating time, there's this chaos that comes with it. Transition times were always difficult, and I think what happens for us is that in our times of transition, that's the best opportunity for us for the enemy to insert some chaos in our life, and our transition from work to home, and our transition from doing yard work to working on some stuff in the house, whatever it is. Our transition times, those are open times for the mind to wander. Those are open times for temptation to come in. Those transition times are times of it can be times of difficulty. And so I've learned that my transition times, that's the best time for this verse to apply. In my transition times, it's like as soon as I get in my car to drive to work, the first thing I acknowledge, I just set the Lord before me. It's like a reset. I go, all right, Lord, let's put everything back on a level playing field, put you in the center. Let's focus back on you, and let's go through this next chapter of the day, or let's go through this next few hours of the day, or whatever it is. But it's this lifestyle of continually setting the Lord in front of you, because when we don't, our lives will be shaky. I can't tell you how many times I have gotten distracted by something. I remember specifically, like, when my wife Tabby was sick, all I could keep in front of me was our lack. All I could keep in front of me was the fact that we weren't making any money, and that was in front of me all the time. And before you knew it, I was, weeks away from spending any time in His presence. I was weeks away from, having any thought of His goodness, any thought of who He was, and before you know it, your life starts to build in a pattern, and you've built something with the time in your life. You've built something that you have no desire to be a part of, or your thought patterns build in a way that you don't even know how you got there. You get so far from belief, because if you look at when you were to build a house, if you were to build a house on a foundation that wasn't level, that wasn't set correctly, right? If it wasn't set correctly, if both sides aren't equal, then everything you build on from that point on will not be level. And so it's important for us as believers to set the Lord continually before us in your transition times, at the beginning of your day, when you're going to bed at night. It's a lifestyle of not just, I've got to have my quiet time. No, it's legitimately every transition in my life. I'm driving to the grocery store. When I get in the car, I'm setting him before me. On my way home, I'm setting him before me. On my way to work, I'm setting him before me. On my way home from work, I'm setting him before me, because everything that I build from that point on, I want him to be the center, and I want it to be on level ground. I want it to be on a firm foundation. The problem is that we're so up and down as believers, where we'll have seasons and spikes of a few days in a row where we'll be feeling it, we'll be like, thinking about the goodness of God and all that. And then something will distract us, and we'll take our eye off what is supposed to be in the center, off of the one that's supposed to be continually before us. And we'll set something else before us. And then before you know it, a few days later, different thoughts have built on that. And you're so far away mentally and in your spirit from where you were a couple days ago, because you've now started to build on something that's not level. And so I think of it like that level. I think of those two lines as my life, and I think I don't want to go too far left or too far right. I don't want to go too far this way or that way. Every scenario with what I'm building with my life, I need to stop at every transition and make sure, am I level? Is right now, is my life level? Have I drifted too far one direction? Have I drifted too far another direction? I need to set him continually before me. And because of that, I will not be shaken. That's what David was saying. I have set the Lord continually before me, not just once a day, not just every season. No, he's saying on a regular basis, I am continually setting the Lord before me. It's a crazy concept to literally just set the Lord before you. But this is a lifestyle. I believe this is how you accomplish the praying without ceasing, right? Yeah, it's a lot of the things that the Bible asks you to do, this constant relationship with him. If I will learn how to set him before me in every scenario, if I will learn how to put him in front of my face, that he would be what I would focus on, then everything I build will be built from that place. It's not just a one-time read a devotional, set it and forget it. No, because so many times we'll start with a devotional, whatever, and by the end of the day, it's like, man, do I even know him? Right? I don't know if any of you have ever had those days. But this is, if you are feeling shaky, if your life feels like it is not on solid ground, it doesn't feel like I have a solid foundation to build from, it might be what you're setting in front of you. I know this is almost too simple, almost too practical, but learn how to embrace in each section of your day, in each transition in your day, in each moment in your day, to set him before you continually. And when that is the case, you will not be shaken. You will not be shaky. It's important for us to recognize what are the things that are trying to pull on either side of our life, or pulling us to the left or pulling us to the right. That's what gets these things, this bubble, that's what gets it no longer level. But I have to set every scenario, every transition, every conversation, just put it right back to level and focus on putting him in front of me. And because he is there, because that is the focus of my life, I never go too high, I never go too low. I never get too crazy. I put him before me, and that is a life that he can build on. That's a life where you will not be shaken. It's important that we learn how to adjust quickly, right? We read an article and start feeling a sense of fear and dread, and we start leaning one direction. And if we don't catch ourselves, if we don't set him before us again, even with all the news that's bombarding us, all the stuff that's bombarding us, if we lean one direction, we have to learn how to set him in front of us and go, Lord, level me out. One of the word for level here also can literally mean equal. So Lord, help me see what you're seeing. Help me to be on the same page that you're on and not lean too much to the left or to the right, not lean into all of this fear, not lean into all this hype, not lean into all of this. Set him before you. When you read an article and you start to feel your heart drift, you start to feel your mind going a different direction. It's like the old hymn said, prone to wander, Lord, I feel it, right? Prone to leave the God I love. Here's my heart, Lord, take and seal it for thy courts above. The writer there is going, I know what it's like to have a heart that is prone to wander, prone to go different directions, prone to go different places. David gave us the answer in this psalm. He said, I have set the Lord continually before me. Because he is at my right hand, I will not be shaken. If you are feeling shaky today, I'm promising you the answer is not trying to read another devotional or trying to do another right thing. It's about setting him in front of you. It's about putting the Lord directly before you in each transition. And if every scenario, every transition, every moment of my day, I know you got to go to work, you got to do all this different stuff, but embrace it. Embrace the transitions and go, Lord, right in this moment, I'm placing you before me. I'm putting you as the center. I want to build from this moment, from a place that is level, from a place that is solid in you. Because he is at my right hand, I will not be shaken. This is my life verse. This is what I am passionate about. And this is something that I am actively seeking to live out every single day. And it is not the most easy thing in the world, but I'm telling you, it's absolutely worth it. I feel much more confident and much more strong than I did 5 years ago because I have lived a lifestyle of continually, in every moment, putting him before me. I haven't done it perfectly, but I'm telling you, set the Lord continually before you, and you'll experience what it feels like to not be shaken. I love you guys. I hope you are having an amazing week, and make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all the social stuff. If you haven't subscribed to the mailing list yet, do so. It is my desire to bring you encouragement, to bring you resources, and to bring you even some fun sometimes. I love you guys. I hope you're having an amazing week, and we will talk to you soon.